I welcome you to the session. Why should my project proposal be funded? It is a highly critical and important topic to address the externally funded projects for the university. I am Professor Jitesh Thakkar, Dean Academics and Professor Logistics and Supply Chain Management at Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, Central University. It is India's first university in transportation and logistics sector. I am ex-professor IIT Kharagpur and I have broadly contributed in the domain of operations management. I am happy to introduce you to the channel Professor Dr. Jitesh J. Thakkar. This is the name of the channel. This channel has currently two playlists, faculty and student development and logistics, supply chain and infrastructure projects. You can scan the QR code shown on the right hand side to explore the intellectual content on this channel, benefiting students, industry professionals, and faculty. About this playlist, faculty and student development. Faculty and student development is a multifaceted agenda which requires grooming on various dimensions, including teaching, research, and experiential learning. The aim of this platform is to address how faculty and student can respond to evolving educational needs and challenges in interdisciplinary education and research as expected by new education policy NEP 2020. This platform shares the content broadly in three domains. One is teaching learning effectiveness. What is the importance of teaching learning pedagogy, skills, utilizing different methods for teaching, classroom engagement strategies, student engagement strategies, utilize educational technology, foster critical thinking for solving complex problems. Number two, promote research excellence and productivity by providing training in research methodologies, data analysis, and scholarly writing. Enhance experiential learning through projects, internships, and exposure to real world problems. This platform explores critical dimensions of faculty and student development for enhancing the capability and quality of the most important stakeholder of the higher education system, faculty and students. About my university, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya, Central University, created in 2022 by the Act of Parliament, and GSV is established with a very clear mandate by Ministry of Railways, Government of India to contribute in the entire domain of transportation and logistics, including rail, road, water, aviation, ports, and shipping across all three cutting edge dimensions: technology, management, and policy, comprising the education at undergraduate, postgraduate, research level, executive training, skilling, and research. It follows demand-driven curriculum to meet industry needs of the transportation sector, highly qualified faculty with global exposure, and leveraging the state-of-the-art infrastructure of centralized training institutions of Indian Railway. It sets the pitch for the effective contribution to transportation and logistics sector. GSV is propelling the nation towards a new era of interconnectedness and sustainable development through innovation and best practices in transportation and logistics sector. The vision of the university is to contribute with a spirit of innovation-led and industry-driven. It has a mission to become best in the world with futuristic education and research built on credibility, rigor, and relevance. Effective collaboration with industry and stakeholders for GSV to be focal point of the transport and logistics ecosystem. Imbibe and internalize professional work ethics and culture to foster lifelong learning paradigm for a developed India. University offers academic programs for both regular students and working professionals. For regular students at undergraduate level, it offers BTech in civil engineering with specialization in rail engineering, BTech in electronics and communication with specialization in rail engineering, BTech in mechanical, BTech in electrical, again with specialization in rail engineering, BTech in artificial intelligence and data science, specialization in transportation and logistics, BTech in aviation engineering, MBA, logistics and supply chain management, MBA in ports and shipping logistics. And on the other hand, it offers the programs for the working professionals, MTech in intelligent transport system, MTech in railway engineering, MTech in bridge and tunnel engineering, MTech roads and highway engineering, MBA logistics and supply chain management, MBA metro rail management, MBA multimodal transportation, MBA aviation and operations management, and PhD in engineering and PhD in management with a core focus on transportation and logistics sector. So the university offers programs for working professionals in a hybrid mode where they have the opportunity to accommodate the convenience of their working schedule and also undertake the studies at the university. This video is very interesting and mostly demanded by the faculty at higher education institutions to understand how to really prepare my project proposal and attract the funding for the university. So the theme of this video is, why should my project proposal be funded? What is that special I can put in my proposal which can really attract the attention and my proposal can be funded? I would like to highlight my contribution in research. I have guided total 14 PhD, total number of PhD theses evaluated, examined 30. I have published about 100 papers in various international journals of ABDC rank and high impact factor. H index is 50, listed in the world ranking of top 2% scientists by Stanford University. I have executed high value research and consultancy projects. Some of the papers are published in high impact factor, A star, A rank, ABDC journals such as International Journal of Production Economics, International Journal of Operations and Production Management, Transportation Research Part E, International Journal of Production Research, Transport Policy, Computers and Industrial Engineering, Production Planning and Control, Expert System with applications, and many others. I have contributed as associate editor of the journals International Journal of Productivity and Performance Management by Emerald and Upsearch by Springer, contributed as editorial board members of the journals Journal of Manufacturing Technology Management, International Journal of Quality and Reliability Management, and International Journal of Productivity and Performance Management. I have published 3 textbooks. One is on structural equation modeling with Springer, project management, strategic and operational planning with Springer, and multi-criteria decision making with Springer. So let us get into this video and what exactly this video shares to help you submit most attractive, impressive, contemporary, and highly relevant project proposals to the funding agencies. Number 1, it focuses on what are the critical considerations of funding agency on project proposal. I think this is extremely important to appreciate before we even think about writing the project proposal. And without understanding the expectations of the funding agency, our proposal will simply get wasted. What is expected by funding agency? What a good project proposal should address, and sample impressive project proposal. So this video will also demonstrate a sample project proposal, how to really write an impressive proposal by following some of the important principles and expectations of the funding agencies as outlined. So, what are the critical considerations of funding agency on project proposals? Let us begin with that. So, why should my project proposal be funded and what are the considerations of the funding agency? First, it must focus on impact and value. So, addressing a significant problem and need is the first and foremost requirement really to attract the attention of the funding agency and secure your fundings. So, whether my project proposal really tackles a very clearly defined and important problem, unmet needs, opportunity in the society, whether it articulates the severity and scope of this issue and why it warrants attention and resources, maybe global warming, maybe sustainability, maybe reverse manufacturing, why this is important for the society, government, and the various stakeholders. Number two, offers a novel and effective solution. Is it just an incremental extension of the existing research, or it will provide a novel solution which can really bring some significant improvement in the area which is being studied? So, proposed solution is innovative, well thought out, and has a strong likelihood of effectively addressing the identified problem. That is the second most important concern my project proposal must address. What are the unique advantages? Demonstrate significant potential impact. What would be its impact in terms of quantifiable metrics? Will it improve the return of investment of the organization? Will it improve the productivity? Will it improve the sustainability in terms of environmental or economical or social? Will it address the poverty, or will it really help the consumers to make the informed choices and provide a user centric perspective? So, whether there are economic benefits, social benefits, environmental benefits, sustainability related benefits, it must very clearly highlight. Aligns with the funder priorities and goals. This is many a times we really miss and we submit our proposal, even if it is well articulated, we submit it to the wrong place, just like we submit a research paper to the wrong journal and it does not fit into the scope. Same applies here. You have various funding agencies, and typically, whether my proposal really fits within the scope, strategic objectives, and whether my funding agency is looking for commercially viable products, processes, or they are looking into the niche area of investigation, unless I really match the deliverables of my project proposal or the project with the expectations of the funding agencies or the charter of the funding agencies, my proposal will not get funded. The second important domain which funding agencies they look for, when the proposal demonstrates feasibility and capacity. So within this, whether it presents a realistic and achievable plan. You are provided the funding maybe for the 3 years or 5 years, and do you have very well articulated objectives, research questions with realistic timeline, so that your funding agency really don't have to face any problem after sanctioning your project. So whether it demonstrates a practical approach to project execution, or it is just good at the design stage and at the execution stage, it may have significant problem in terms of ensuring the resource availability, technological competence, or maybe approaching the different stakeholders. Then, whether it possesses a qualified and capable team. This is very important to look for. Today, funding agencies are looking for commercially and socially viable outputs. Now, if I do not have the cross-functional team, interdisciplinary team, it is extremely difficult to ensure commercially and socially viable deliverables. So here, whether I have a qualified capable team with requisite expertise in the domain, broader domain, and whether this team can really gel well and they can work in an interdisciplinary cross-functional manner. Number three, demonstrates efficient and responsible resource utilization. So whether my budget is well justified, realistic, and demonstrates a clear understanding of the resources required for successful project completion, it showcases cost effectiveness and value for money. So my funding agency may like to give me 50 lakh rupees, and will really my deliverable or the resources that I am demanding, would I utilize it effectively with respect to my deliverable? And this has to be appropriately charted when you write the project proposal. Then the fourth point within this demonstrating feasibility and capacity is includes a robust evaluation and sustainability plan. So this is a very important dimension, and whether my project proposal outlines a clear plan for measuring the project success and impact. So just like you are measuring the success of a project with respect to different milestones, maybe using earned value method, similarly, do I have the well-defined matrices to measure and monitor my project at different milestones, and am I really accomplishing or delivering the various output at different milestones? So here the project proposal must address the long-term sustainability of project's outcome beyond the funding period. This is very important. It's not that you are given the funding for 3 years or 4 years, and beyond that, your project outcomes or deliverables, whether it's a product, whether it's a process, it's a model, is not really viable, feasible. So it must have the appropriate test of the time, and whether it will stand against the test of the time, or it will just on completion of the project lose its value. That is very important to justify. So no funding agency would like to give you the funding just for accepting the outcome for a very limited or narrow period. It must justify its long-term utility. Then, whether my project proposal highlights uniqueness and competitive advantage. So it must offer a unique and innovative approach. It presents a novel methodology, whatever simulation, experimental approach, or maybe the statistical approach you are using, what way it really deploys the unique and very novel methodology, so that the findings and the outcomes of your project really are unique and novel. So it highlights the unique value propositions and potential for breakthrough results, demonstrates strong evidence and preliminary data if applicable. So if the project builds upon prior research or pilot studies, the proposal presents a compelling preliminary data that supports the feasibility and potential success of the proposed work. It means you are not just starting from the scratch, you have the enough reasons and the platform available to justify your project proposal, and you are building your story, you are building your proposal on a very well-grounded research, existing data, and this has the unique value proposition to offer to the stakeholders and society at large. So there are five important dimensions we must look into. Number one is the important. It is addressing a significant problem. Number two, it is effective, offering a viable and impactful solution. Number three, it is feasible. The time and budget, whatever you are demanding, you would be able to complete your project with the expected outcome within the given duration and budget allocation. Hence, it is feasible. Aligned matching the funder's priority, as I mentioned, absolutely without understanding the scope of the funding agency. If you submit your proposal just like a research paper, it will receive the rejection. And unique, what kind of distinct advantage it extends with respect to existing technology, existing processes, existing theory, and what novel contribution it will really make to the theory and practice that decides the success of your project proposal, funding of your project proposal. So let us get deeper. What is really expected by the funding agency? How to meet contemporary expectations and prepare impressive project proposal for external funding. So number one, as I mentioned here, I would like to cite very specific example to make the idea clear, focusing on impact and value. So it addresses a significant problem and need of the society and important stakeholders. For example, our project addresses the critical problem of last mile delivery inefficiency in urban areas where current methods contribute to traffic congestion, high emissions, and increased delivery costs for both businesses and consumers. It extends unique value propositions for consumers and industry businesses. Studies show that last mile logistics account for up to 30% of total delivery cost and significant portion of urban pollution. So here I am trying to justify that my project proposal is really unique. It has the potential to address a very, very critical and pressing need of the society and the stakeholders like industry and businesses, and it has to be funded. The next is offers a novel and effective solution. For example, we propose a novel drone-based delivery network utilizing AI-powered route optimization. You can see a novel methodology and enhanced, say, technological development is involved and secure, say, landing infrastructure. This solution offers a faster, more cost-effective and environmentally friendly alternative to traditional van-based delivery, particularly for small to medium-sized packages in densely populated area. You see, each and every element is very precisely defined to justify the importance and scope of my project proposal. I'm going for a new technology. I'm testing a new technology which is artificial intelligence powered for route optimization for the dense area, which is a pressing need of the society, and it offers a friendly alternative to the traditional van-based delivery, and specifically in the segment of small and medium-sized packages. Number three, demonstrate significant potential impact. Let us see the example. Let us say I'm citing an example. Successful implementation of our drone delivery network is projected to reduce last mile delivery times by an average 40%. I'm showcasing to the funding agency that if my project proposal gets funded, then there is a claim, there is a strong conviction then that my project will reduce the delivery time, last mile delivery time by 40%, decrease associated carbon emission by 60% within the pilot zone, and lower delivery cost for participating businesses by approximately 25%. This will lead to improved air quality, reduced traffic congestion, and enhanced economic competitiveness for local businesses. So I'm making it very clear that for the pilot study, I'm claiming that 40% would be the reduction in last mile delivery timing, 60% in the pollution, and typically it will benefit the various important stakeholders like businesses, the citizens, and it will improve the air quality and so on. So this is the third important dimension I just demonstrated with the example to help you understand how you can project your claim, which can attract the attention of the funding agency. My proposal aligns with funder priority and goals. Let us see the example. The project directly aligns with, you may put the funder name, whether it is the DST or Anusandhan, say scheme, strategic priority of fostering sustainable urban mobility and investing in innovative logistic solutions. So already if you visit the website of the funding agency, you will come across some of the potential areas which are very much in line with the national aspirations are highlighted, and you can connect your project proposal with those areas and establish a link that my proposal fits well within the scope of the funding agency. Our focus on reducing emission, improving efficiency, directly contributes to the stated goal of creating greener and more livable cities. So, whether the scope is sustainability or urban mobility or urban infrastructure planning or smart city planning, if these are the indicated areas within the scope of your external funding agency, you can very clearly link your project proposal with these thrust areas. The next important item is demonstrating feasibility and capacity. Let us try to appreciate this through some examples. It presents a realistic and achievable plan. Let us see the example. Our project plan includes a phased approach. It means I am going phase by phase, and each phase I will have the control, deliverable, milestone measurement. So it includes a phased approach, starting with a small scale pilot deployment. I'm improving the credibility of my project and building more confidence of the funding agency in my proposal. I will go phase wise. I will have the pilot deployment. So, starting with a small scale pilot deployment in a controlled urban environment, we have clearly defined milestone for infrastructure development, drone fleet acquisition, software integration, regulatory compliance, and performance evaluation with realistic timelines and resource allocation for each stage. So you see, I am addressing various dimensions and matrices in a 360-degree manner, and this really gives a credibility to my project proposal in terms of realistic and achievable plan. The next one within feasibility and capacity dimension is possesses a qualified and capable team. So I mentioned that it is important to look at the value propositions and align your resources, the highly qualified, competent, cross-functional, interdisciplinary team. I can put it in this way. For example, our team comprises leading experts in drone technology, maybe Dr. Sharma with 10 plus years of experience in autonomous flight systems, logistics optimization, Mr. Ben, former head of supply chain innovation at major e-commerce firm, regulatory compliance, Dr. or Ms. Dave Davis, a specialist in aviation law, just some hypothetical names I've used, and their combined expertise, interdisciplinary expertise, ensures we have the necessary skills to navigate the technical, operational, and legal aspects of the project. Next dimension, which funding agencies they look for, is demonstrates efficient and responsible resource utilization. I can demonstrate this dimension through an example. Our detailed budget, cost-effective strategies for drone procurement, infrastructure development, utilizing modular and scalable designs, and efficient energy management through optimized charging schedules. We have also secured in-kind contributions from, maybe you can write the parent organization. So many a times funding agency also want that there has to be a stake of the parent organization to strengthen the proposal and the funding and the deliverables. So for airspace management software, minimizing the need for extensive upfront investment in this area. So this typically ensures that you have the efficient and responsible resource utilization. The next is includes a robust evaluation and sustainability plan. You are funded the project and funding agency would like to see whether you have a well crafted, chalked out monitoring control mechanism in place or not. So, for example, you can say that we will implement a comprehensive evaluation framework with performance indicators, or you may say KPIs, such as delivery time, cost per delivery, emission reduction, customer satisfaction, and data will be collected through, say, integrated sensors and feedback mechanism. On the sustainability side, we plan to explore partnerships with renewable energy providers for drone charging and develop a long-term maintenance and operational model that can be scaled to other urban areas. So your project is not just the limited or applicable for a very short window or during which it is executed. You are also projecting that you are establishing a well grounded, sustainable mechanism to utilize the deliverables of this project for a significantly longer period of time. The next one is highlighting uniqueness and competitive advantage. So, whether my project offers a unique and innovative approach, for example, you can say, unlike existing drone delivery trials that often focus on point to point deliveries, our approach integrates a network of smart landing stations and AI powered dynamic routing. So it's not just static. I am also trying to use the AI for the dynamic routing where the network optimization will take place. And on the real time basis, I can choose the optimal route. So that is my value proposition in terms of the innovative approach. And this allows me for more complex delivery patterns, optimize freight utilization, and the ability to handle a higher volume of deliveries within the defined area, offering a significant advantage over current limited scope solutions. My project proposal should demonstrate strong evidence and preliminary data, if any applicable. For example, you can say our preliminary simulations based on real world urban traffic data and drone performance specifications indicate a potential reduction in delivery times of up to 50%. So you have conducted some pilot studies, you have some simulations, and you are using that as the basis or platform to justify your proposal. And you say that 50% reduction in delivery times compared to traditional methods. And furthermore, our small scale feasibility study using prototype drones demonstrated the viability of our autonomous landing system with 98% success rate in controlled environment. So here you are trying to project that if in the control environment my success rate is 98%, then even a good result, a good viability can be expected of my technology, even if it is deployed in the real world situation. So, in summary, let us try to appreciate the spirit. An impressive proposal is not just about following a template. It is not just about writing introduction and then reporting your literature and then stating your objectives, then asking for the budget and highlighting the expected deliverables, references, and so on. It is about crafting a compelling, well reasoned, and evidence based argument for why your project deserves funding. I gave number of examples that I am projecting the importance of my project proposal either by linking it with the strategic vision of the funding agency or by taking the reference of my pilot study and showcasing that the relevance and validity of my results even stands for the real world situation, or by justifying the unique approach and methodology I have adopted. So, what is the compelling reason I am offering to the external funding agency for which they should fund my project? By focusing on clarity, impact, and showcasing your team's expertise. So, here you are not working in silo, you have a cross functional team, interdisciplinary team, and this even boosts the value proposition of your project and hence the probability of getting funding. So you can significantly increase your chances of success. So once again, I am just repeating, an impressive proposal is not just about following a template. It is about crafting a compelling, well-reasoned and evidence-based argument for why your project deserves funding. By focusing on clarity, impact, and showcasing your team's expertise, you can significantly increase your chances of success getting funding. What a good quality project proposal should address? Maybe we are just trying to triangulate and highlight the important dimensions through different kind of argumentations and criteria. So let's see what a good quality project proposal should address. So typically, when you are writing the proposal, we have already seen what are the expectations of the funding agencies and what are the examples which you can keep in mind really to link your project with the strategic objective of the funding agency and justify the uniqueness. Now let us see how exactly you will write the proposal which can really cater all the important dimensions we have discussed so far. So first is the executive summary. It is the hook of your project. It may be 1 to 2 pages and it begins with a compelling opening. Start with a concise and impactful statement that immediately grabs the attention of the funding agency. Then problem statement highlighting the urgency and significance. Proposed solution, what is the innovativeness and the impact you try to put it within your executive summary. Objectives, measurable and achievable. State your clear, concise, and measurable objectives. What specific outcomes will your project achieve? Key activities, high level overview you can provide as a part of your executive summary to justify your structured plan and also the rigor involved in executing the project. Expected outcomes and tangible benefits. What are the long-term and short-term outcomes and sustainable they are? Funding request, clear and justified. State the total amount of funding requested and briefly mention how it will be utilized. Organizational capacity, brief credibility statement, briefly highlight your organization's relevant experience and expertise to undertake this project successfully. For example, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya is India's first and only university in transportation and logistics sector, and certainly the knowledge base is available to execute the projects in transportation and logistics sector. And if you link it with the mandate of your university, which is very much in line with the mandate and the strategic goal of the funding agency, it will provide much better and greater credibility and visibility to your project. So in summary, your executive summary, which is the hook, and you will write it in the 1 or 2 pages. This section acts as a powerful elevator pitch. It immediately conveys the importance of your work, your innovative approach, and your capacity to deliver to results. Next section in your project proposal should include introduction and background. You may allocate about 2 to 4 pages, and this particular introduction and background section should include contextual background, providing overview of the problem, relevant statistics. So you highlight some important statistics with the reference, maybe about climate change, carbon emissions, sustainability, poverty, employment rate, to enrich your claim and highlight the importance of your project proposal. Existing gaps in the research you can certainly highlight. Then significance and rationale. So why this problem is important and what really the benefit it will extend by addressing this problem and what are the rationale behind your proposed solution and the project. Literature review, demonstrating existing knowledge. This should certainly emerge the important research gaps in the existing literature and provide an adequate support to your project proposal. Preliminary data and pilot study, that is the evidence of the feasibility. If applicable, present any preliminary data or results from pilot study or your simulation to really motivate the funding agency that in the controlled environment or maybe a pilot study shows this kind of positive results. And if the funding is given, this money really will be utilized effectively and deliver the good solution for the benefit of stakeholder and society at large. Alignment with funding agency priorities, as I mentioned, it must align with the strategic objective, and that part you highlight within your introduction background section. So this introduction and background section demonstrates your deep understanding of the problem, the existing landscape, and the solid foundation upon which your project is built. The third section is project description. This is the blueprint. You can devote 5 to 10 pages in your project proposal, and this will highlight goals and objectives. So you choose the SMART framework. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound objectives so that you are committing for the effective funding utilization and resource utilization to your funding agency. Methodology, rigor, and innovativeness you highlight. A detailed approach may be a flow chart. What is the step-by-step method you will follow? What kind of approaches you will deploy for the scientific investigation, whether experimental design or statistical analysis or simulation approach. Target population, you very clearly define, you will be addressing a particular state, you will be addressing a particular target population, maybe a small and medium scale enterprises, or maybe higher middle class income group or middle class income group, whatever way you define, you very clearly highlight your target population. Data collection method, how will you collect the data, whether you will conduct the surveys, interviews, experiments, observations, data analysis plan, what kind of method you will use, whether simulation approach, whether multi-criteria decision-making, statistical analysis, or design of experiment, you highlight your data analysis plan very, very clearly. There are certain important considerations to be highlighted within this section. One is the ethical consideration. Address any ethical concern and explain measures you will take to address this kind of data privacy or informed consent kind of ethical considerations. Innovation and novelty. Clearly articulate the innovative aspects of your approach and what makes it unique, potentially more effective than the existing method. Activities and timeline, you can put it in the form of a Gantt chart, visual representation of activity, sustainability plan, long-term vision, what are the collaborations you are envisaging down the line, or how will you justify the long-term viability and sustainability of your project. And then risk management plan, this is very, very important. It is a proactive problem solving. When you are undertaking a project, you need different kind of resources, you need technology, and you need funding. And within this time, performance, and the cost constraint, you have to manage your project, and there could be many risks may arise. And what is your risk mitigation plan or contingency plan to protect your project? That also you highlight very clearly. This section typically showcases the rigor and thoughtfulness of your project design. How will you execute it? It demonstrates that you have a very clear plan, considered potential challenges, and have a vision for long-term success of your project. Number 4 in your project proposal would be project team and organizational capacity. You may devote 2 to 4 pages. You highlight team structure and roles, who will do what, who will be responsible for a particular module, what will be the reporting authority, key personnel, highlighting expertise. You can put CV, their research publications, and typically their unique contributions in a particular domain really will help the funding agency to see your project as a much viable and high priority project for funding. Organizational background and mission, briefly describe your organization mission's history so that it very clearly links your project with the overall strategic objective of the funding agency and justifies that you are already in the environment which has a unique mandate and expertise available. Resources and infrastructure. Describe what kind of resources, manpower, or the different level of skills or technology or different software packages you would really use to execute this project, and even highlight if you need to do any kind of collaboration or partnership, maybe with the research laboratory or industry or any other potential partner which can improve the credibility of your project. Collaborations and partnerships, as I mentioned, you highlight the key collaborations. It may be within country or maybe the foreign collaborations with industry, R&D laboratory, and ultimately you are trying to justify to the funding agency that yes, my project is very well connected and supported by the different stakeholders in this domain, and hence the success rate of my project is very high. So this section builds confidence in your team's ability and execute the project effectively. It demonstrates that you have the right people with the necessary skills and expertise to execute your project. Number 5 is budget and justification. This basically contributes towards transparency and accountability. You can devote 2 to 3 pages within your project proposal. So detailed budget breakdown, very clear and detailed budget. Maybe you can itemize all the anticipated expenses, personnel, that equipment, supplies, travel, evaluation, all those you can very clearly highlight to bring transparency within your project and also gain the confidence of your funding agency. Budget justification, provide adequate justification for each of the component. For example, you say that you need the field visit, then you justify that this field visit is important to really understand the ground realities and then build my project and connect my important deliverables with the ground realities. In-kind contributions, leveraging resources. So if applicable, clearly outline any kind contributions from your organization or partners and their estimated value. Financial management and reporting. So briefly describe your organization's financial management system and your plan for financial reporting to the funding agency. So each organization, they have their own financial procedures, and here it is important to highlight some of the key characteristics of your financial system to give confidence to your funding agency that once they release the fund, how this fund will be credited to your organization, parent organization, in what way you will utilize this fund with appropriate approval, and hence the fund safety, security, and appropriate utilization is ensured. So this section demonstrates financial responsibility and transparency. It shows that you have carefully planned your resource allocation and are accountable for funds requested. Number 6 is evaluation and dissemination plan. Your project proposal should devote 1 to 2 pages on measuring success and sharing knowledge. So how really you will monitor and measure the success of your project. So you present your evaluation plan So describe how you will evaluate the progress and impact of your project. Include specific evaluation questions, indicators, data collection method. This will really boost the confidence of funding agency that yes, now the fund is parked for a well justified project and the PI of the project or the lead of the project is very clear about the execution plan of the project. Performance measurement, you highlight the key performance indicators about the completion of various objectives, deliverables, and dissemination of the plan. So explain how you will share the findings and outcomes of your project with the relevant stakeholders, including funding agency, the target population, scientific community, and the broader public. So you may plan the reports or publications or presentations, workshops, or online platforms really to ensure that the outcome of your project is really benefiting the important stakeholders. So this section demonstrates your commitment to measuring your impact and sharing your knowledge, maximizing the return of investment for the funding agency. This ensures that your project will not only collect the dust in the form of a report somewhere, but it will really reach to the important stakeholders and industry, government, or various businesses or the citizens. They will really benefit, and you have a very well chalked out plan that how you will disseminate the knowledge, whether through social media, whether through presentations, workshop, or online platforms. Number 7, don't miss it. It is appendices, supporting documentation as needed. So letter of support from the partners to improve the credibility of your project and their commitment, curriculum, guidance or CVs of your key personnel, your team, data collection instrument, if you are conducting the survey or your experimental design strategy and so on, data collection instruments, logic model or theory of change, relevant publications or reports, institutional review board, approval if applicable, and so on. So well organized and relevant appendices provide further evidence and support for your proposal. So you can see that it's not just a structure. It's more about justifying the unique value propositions of your project, justifying the credibility of your project, and throughout all the sections, we are trying to draw the attention of the funding agency and build a mutual confidence among the project proposer, the parent organization, and the funding agency about the credibility, importance, viability, and unique value propositions of the project. So typically, if I just summarize, then a good quality project proposal should include some of the important key elements beyond just a structure, and it is about clarity and conciseness, compelling narrative, the story that resonates with the reviewers and highlights the importance and impact of your work. Very, very important. Number 3, strong evidence. Number 4, innovation and originality. Number 5, feasibility and realism. Number 6, impact and sustainability. Number 7, passion and enthusiasm. It should run through your project proposal. And last is the professional presentation. I would like to present a sample impressive project proposal. This will further give you an idea how to write an impressive proposal and why should my project proposal be funded. So let us see a very simple structure and how each element of this structure can be illuminated with strong arguments, statistics, and logic to make my project proposal impressive. So a sample example of an impressive project proposal. The title of this proposal is Revolutionizing Mobility through Advanced Battery Technologies and Electric Propulsion. This is the title of my project proposal, Revolutionizing Mobility through advanced battery technology and electric propulsion. So you can begin with writing the name of the funding agency submitted to. You can put the date from your organization, team name. Little variation may take place in the structure, but broadly this structure will follow. Structure is not important, even if some items are expected, maybe first or second or third. There is a change in the order. What is important? How you illuminate your passion, importance of the project in each element of the structure, that really matters. So, executive summary, if I have to write the executive summary about my project, revolutionizing mobility through advanced battery technologies and electric propulsion, I will say this proposal outlines a groundbreaking research and development initiative focused on revolutionizing the transportation sector through the synergistic advancement of high performance battery technologies and efficient electric propulsion systems. I will make the premise of my proposal very clear, recognizing the urgent global need. So, there is a pressing need for sustainable and environmentally responsible mobility solution. This project aims to overcome the current limitations of the electric vehicles and unlock their full potential. So my project will advance the knowledge in this domain, and that I am trying to justify. We propose a multifaceted approach encompassing the exploration of novel battery chemistries with enhanced energy density, faster charging capabilities, and improved safety, the development of the innovative electric motor designs and power electronics for increased efficiency and power output, and the intelligent integration of these components into advanced propulsion system. So I'm making it very clear why I'm doing and what are the technological integrations I will try to ensure as a part of my project to deliver a better technology compared to the existing traditional one. Subsequently, I will highlight my ambition, this ambitious yet achievable. It's not just ambitious, but yes, it is very much achievable project promises to deliver significant breakthrough leading to long range, more affordable and higher performing EVs, electrical vehicles, and thereby accelerating their mass adoption. So it would not be limited for, say, very narrow application zone, but you can scale it up. There is a significant scalability possible, so and contributing significantly to cleaner and more sustainable future. The high value funding requested will be strategically allocated to cutting edge research, state of the art equipment, and the recruitment of world class talent, ensuring the successful execution and impactful outcome of this transformative endeavor. So I'm making it very clear that I am highly committed about the effective utilization of the funding. The next item of this particular proposal on revolutionizing mobility through advanced battery is the introduction. You highlight the imperative for advanced electric mobility, why this advanced electric mobility is important. So transportation sector stands as a major contributor to greenhouse gas emission and air pollution globally. The transition to electric mobility is no longer an option. I am just not doing this project to explore some options. It is the necessity, but a necessity to mitigate climate change, improve air quality, and enhance energy security. While significant progress has been made in this field, I am acknowledging the existing contributions of electric vehicles. Key limitations persist, hindering their widespread adoption. These limitations primarily revolve around battery technology, specifically energy density, charging speed, cost and safety, and the efficiency and performance of electric propulsion systems. So I'm making it very clear that I'm referring the existing development has certain limitations, and I want to build on this So I'm making my premise very clear as a part of introduction. So you can even highlight the interdisciplinary nature of your team, which will contribute towards this project, and it will really have a commercially viable value proposition. The second is project goals and objectives. You highlight the overarching goal of this project is to develop and demonstrate advanced battery technologies, an electric propulsion system that significantly enhance the performance, affordability, and sustainability of electric vehicles and other transportation mode with, let us say, set of objectives. Objective one, development of high energy density battery chemistries. So you highlight some of the statistics also, that investigating and synthesize novel electrode materials, maybe lithium metal anodes, silicon based anodes, high nickel, cobalt free cathodes with the potential to significantly increase energy density beyond current lithium ion technologies, aiming for greater than 500 Wh per kg at the cell level. So you are highlighting your plan and the expected deliverable in a quantifiable manner. Similarly, you say explore advanced electrode system, develop and optimize cell designs and architectures to maximize energy density and cycle life. Second objective, achieving ultra fast charging capabilities. Here also you try to support your claim with some of the statistics. So research and development is desired for battery materials and cell design that can withstand and efficiently utilize ultra high charging currents, targeting charging time of less than 15 minutes for 80% of state of charge. Similarly, you highlight about the develop advanced technology management system, BMS, with sophisticated thermal management strategies to enable safe and efficient ultra fast charging. And you may include investigate novel charging protocols and infrastructure requirement for widespread ultra fast charging deployment. Objective three, enhancing battery safety and longevity. Maybe you are targeting for greater than 10 years or greater than maybe 5 lakh kilometer that you highlight here. And objective four, advancement of high efficiency electric propulsion system. You highlight the design and prototype novel electric motor topologies you would like to develop, axial flux motors, high torque density, permanent magnet synchronization motors with significantly improved power density and efficiency. You may highlight some statistics like greater than 95% efficiency across a wide operating range and so on. Objective 5, you may include intelligent integration and optimization of battery and propulsion system. So you may try to justify that you would like to develop integrated thermal management system that efficiently regulate the temperature of both the battery and the electric motor, enhancing the overall performance of the system. Subsequently, you may look into the research method and approach, which you try to highlight the phase wise. Phase one, you may say fundamental research and material discovery that you may do for year 1 and 2. Then phase two, cell and develop component development and optimization maybe for years 2 and 3. And subsequently, phase three, that is more about the system integration. At one side, you are focusing on the battery, on the other side, you are focusing on the propulsion system. So in this phase, you may highlight that you will integrate the developed battery and propulsion components into functional prototype of the electric powertrains. Phase 4 is about scalability of the system, technology transfer that you may do in the year 5, and the final phase you may highlight that it will focus on assessing the scalability and manufacturability of the developed technologies. So you highlight very clearly our team possesses the necessary expertise, interdisciplinary, cross-functional expertise, and the different domains as highlighted as a part of this project proposal will be well taken care by the requisite knowledge in the domain. Number 4, you highlight the expected outcomes and impact. So for the project proposal, sample project proposal, I am highlighting, you may say the successful completion of the project will contribute towards significant scientific, technological, economic, and social impact. And each element you can justify with respect to the deliverable of your project. For example, scientific advancement, you may say generation of fundamental knowledge in advanced battery chemistries, novel electric motor designs, and integrated propulsion systems are your scientific advancement. Publications in high impact factor journals, technological breakthrough, you may say development of prototype battery cells with significantly higher energy density and ultra fast charging capabilities, same economic benefits, whether it would be affordable, what way it will ensure the higher performance and societal impact, how it will reduce the greenhouse gas emission and enhance the energy security. So it would be fantastic if you highlight some of these specific quantifiable targets that shows your extreme commitment in your project, achieving a battery cell energy density of greater than 500 Wh per kg, demonstrating battery charging from 10% to 80% state of charge in under 15 minutes, developing an electric motor with an efficiency of greater than 95% across a wide operating range and power density, and expanding the battery life to greater than 10 years or greater than 5 lakh kilometers. You highlight the project team, their CVs, their important expertise areas, which are very much aligning with the project of electric mobility. Budget and resource allocation, you highlight the personal cost, maybe the a postdoctoral researcher or your research team, principal investigator, equipment and supplies. You may say what kind of state of the art technology or equipment you need to acquire. Maybe for this project, testing sessions, electrochemical testing sessions, battery cyclers, motor dynamometers, power electronic test benches, and so on. Travel and dissemination. So you highlight your participation in the conference, workshop, industry meeting, and the cost can be attributed to this element. Collaboration and subcontractors. If you have to really develop the prototype or technology, your industry partners and the various collaborators with specific expertise, you can also include the cost associated with this. Intellectual property protection. If you are going for the patents, you highlight the cost associated with that, project management and administration, and so on. Project timeline and milestone, it's always preferred you highlight it in the graphical mode using the Gantt chart. Year 1, you say identification and synthesis of promising novel battery and electrolyte systems, initial design and simulation of advanced electric motor topologies and power electronics. Year 2 would be optimization of selected battery materials and cell design. Year 3 would be the integration of battery cell into the modules and packs and development and testing of the prototype electric motor and inverter systems. Year 4 would be system level integration of battery and propulsion components. Year 5 will be the scalability assessment, manufacturing analysis, and key technologies. Subsequently, you include the different important appendices which your funding agency will consider as the backbone or the complementary items, maybe the consent you have received from your industry partner, or maybe the questionnaire or the design of experiment approach you have developed. Your appendices will provide the sufficient basis to justify your project in terms of credibility and viability. Finally, you provide the conclusion, basically what this ambitious project, but the realistic one, is targeting to deliver, and you request your funding agency that we urge you to consider our proposal favorably and join us in this critical endeavor to reshape the future of transportation. So you are also trying to collaborate through this spirit with the funding agency and motivating the funding agency really to consider your project as one of the value-add project benefiting the society and the sector at large. You can include the appendices. For example, this particular electric battery mobility project, it could be detailed budget breakdown. Appendix B could be project timeline and milestone. Appendix C could be letter of support from the collaborating institutions. Appendix D could be curriculum vitae of key project team members. So I hope this video would have provided you the important guidelines on writing impressive, realistic, and most critical project proposal which enhances the probability of attracting funding from the external funding agencies. About my university, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya is India's first and only university in transportation and logistics sector, covering all modes of transport, rail, road, aviation, water, ports, and shipping. And GSV extends programs at all levels, undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD, and executive training to enable nations' aspiration to reduce its logistics costs from present 14% to 8%. Transportation sector is a growth engine for India, which contributes roughly to 6.3% of GDP of India. University offers demand-driven curriculum with a focus on all three dimensions: technology, that is infrastructure, management, that is services, and policy, that is regulation, to strengthen the ecosystem of multimodal transportation and logistics in the country. In line with the vision, innovation-led, industry-driven university, Gati Shakti Vishwavidyalaya has collaborated with various leading industries such as Airbus, Nippon Koi, Siemens, Jacobs, Plaza India, Railtel, and others to significantly contribute to the ecosystem of transportation and logistics in India and at globe at large. Thank you for your interest in learning the various dimensions of faculty and student development. We will keep exploring more issues through this platform for the benefit of society, student, faculty in higher education system, which are the most critical entity of our educational system. Thank you very much.